Hey everyone, I am the old man of RuneScape and welcome to my guide on flipping. Flipping is basically where you buy an item and you sell it for higher than you bought, thus making a profit. In this guide I'm going to show you where to look up prices, low risk items, medium risk items, and high risk items, and what to look for when flipping items. And before we get started, this video is sponsored by no one. So if you like any content, please subscribe. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, I have 1,000 hard caskets to open. So I will be streaming that live on Twitch. Check me out on Twitch under Old Man of RuneScape. It will be my first stream, so you're going to have to bear with me while I work at the kinks, but I will be opening all 1,000 hard caskets on stream. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy. First thing you want to do is go to prices.runescape.wiki/OSRS, and this will take you for active prices for items that are being traded. This website is basically going to show you what an item sells for, what it buys for, the profit margin, and how often it's traded daily with a certain buy limit. So as you see here, for the Dragon Hunter crossbow, the buy price is 70,937,000 and the sell price is 70,700,000. So the difference between that is a margin of 237,000. It's traded roughly about 1,800 times a day, which isn't too bad, and it has a buy limit of 8, which means you can only buy 8 of them every 4 hours. Now, this isn't the best item to flip, but this was just the example that I had pulled up. But basically what you want to do is find the biggest margin you can in between and buy at the sell price and sell at the buy price. Usually I like to give a little buffer on bigger items like this, just because some people will try to undercut you. So for this example, again, it's not the best because you have to include the GE tax, which is going to be 1%, but you'd buy roughly around 70,725,000 and then sell for 70,900,000. Another way to get to this page is if you just Google OSRS wiki and you click it, and in the search bar here, all you do is type an item that you want to look up. So just say mithril darts. Pops up, and if you go to here where it says the real-time prices, click it, it'll take you right to this page. And this brings me to my first item, the low-risk items. These items typically have a high buy limit, a high trade limit, and are usually pretty cheap. So as you can see here, if you look at the graph, mithril darts will go down to 4 GP throughout the day and sell as high as 8 GP, which is great. So if you have little to no money, what you would want to do is buy for the 4 and then sell for the 7 or 8 and let it sit. Usually buy the limit and then continue with other items that are similar. So we can look at adamant darts, we can look at steel darts, we can look at runes, fall under this category. Javelin heads usually will fall under this category. Anything that has a high buy limit and a high trade limit is usually a good way to look at it. And again, they're usually really cheap, so if you have little to no money or you're just starting off, I would suggest going this way. Alright, so these are the items that I bought. Obviously not everything buys right away. This has been here for about 2 hours. So what we're going to do is just collect everything we can, cancel everything else, and then for the prices that we bought them for, so for the steel darts, we're going to put those in for 4. So you're only going to make about 14,000 GP on that. The rune bolts I think should go pretty well. Should be able to sell those for around 50. And then the arrows, usually about a GP or 2 more. So another great feature that I do love about this website is you can type in a certain keyword and it's going to pull up everything in regards to that keyword. So since we are now on the medium risk items, this is where the items are a little more expensive, but you will make more profit. Typically I start with the god items that you get from clue scrolls. So what we can do is we type in COIF, hit enter, and it's going to pull up all the items that have that in it. And as you can see, you can go to margins and you can kind of compare what would be the most profitable. Now, in regards to this, you want to look at a couple different things. 1, the margin, 2, the daily volume, and 3, the overall price. With the medium risk items, you're not going to really be paying a ton of money, So you don't have to worry about overall price, but once you get to the rare items, that tax is going to impact it a lot, so kind of keep an eye on that. But what we'll do is we'll kind of skim through everything. None of the quests really look good, but I did do some research on some of the bracers, and as you can see, these are relatively cheap with high profit margins. So we'll try the Zammy and the Sarah bracers. Alright, so now we got the items in there. We're just going to let them sit. Usually I would give it about 20-25 minutes for them to start coming in. Alright, so I left everything in the GE for about 30 minutes, and as you can see, we bought quite a few things. The Armadillo Dehyde Shield didn't sell, so if for some reason things don't ever sell, you can always come back to the wiki page here and refresh, and you can see when it was most recently sold and the price. So if we go back to the Dehyde Shields, go to the Armadillo, so about 22 minutes ago it sold for 329k, and unfortunately if you look at what I had it for, it's 325. So there's about 4k difference. That's why I didn't buy, but some of the other stuff bought. So what we'll do is basically cancel everything that we didn't buy all. Again, the shields are going to be a little bit tougher to buy 3 of, but as you saw, we got 3 of the Sarah bracers, so that's always a plus. Alright, so after logging back in, it took about an hour to sell everything for these prices. Some of them sold quicker, like the bracers and a couple of the shields. But as you can see, we sold everything for a solid profit. And yeah, basically that's what you want to do for the medium risk items, is kind of take a look at best margins and purchase them. Like I said, I usually stick with the blessed God items just because people buy them all the time. There's a lot of quantity, and usually there's a big market for them as well. So last on the list is going to be the high risk items, high rewards, and these are going to be the gilded pieces, the rings, and the third age pieces. As you see here with third age, they typically have a pretty good margin, but they do cost quite a bit. So you're going to need to have a good amount of cash to really be able to make money here. But if you're able to get an item, usually you can make about 500 to 600k minimum, and then if you have even more, you can make more money. Gilded is a little bit easier to obtain, and it's not as expensive. So what we're going to do is we're going to buy a couple pieces here, see if we can flip them, and yeah, just see how much money we actually make from each flip. Alright, so we put in a couple offers, and actually look at that, the ring of coins just bought. And what we're going to do is we're basically going to wait and see if we get any more of these items coming in. Since these are a little more rare, it may take a little while for them to come in. That's why I only have an offer for 1 of each. But as you can see here on my other test run, we did flip a third age mage hat. We bought it for 54 mil 258 and sold it for 55 mil 192, which is almost 1 mil profit. With that being said, we bought a koi for 52 mil 385,000. We're trying to sell it for 53 mil. So unfortunately, that's why this is a high risk, high reward, because items fluctuate so much that you may make a lot of money, but you also have to be quick, and if you're not, you may lose some money. But we'll let these items sit for a little bit, and I will be back once they start buying and selling.
Alright, so as you can see, we basically bought and sold everything. One thing we haven't sold is the Gilded Spear, and this is where the high risk items come into play, because when we look at the prices here, you can see the Gilded Spear. The Gilded Spear sold 2 hours ago for 3.8 mil, and that's about what we paid for. If we go to collect, we can check the history here. We paid 3.75. So I'm gonna have to sit on this item and wait till it actually sells. But other than that, everything else sold. The coif, as you see, we made 49k on. The Ring of Coins 16.4, and the Gilded Boots 2.1, and the Ring of Coins 16.6, so it's almost 200k there, and 3.11 for the Ring of Stone, which is about 100k. And then we made profit on the band braces. The Gilded Boots we made about a little less than 200K.
So I wanted to give you guys one other little item here that usually is pretty cheaply bought and you can turn around and make a profit on, and this is the useless clue items. These items really don't have a point other than cosmetics, and as you see here, most of them can be bought relatively cheap with a pretty good profit margin. Unfortunately, they don't get traded a ton, but as you see here, the purple elegant blouse is showing a 49K profit because one sold for almost 70K, and you can typically buy it for around 18 to 19K. And yeah, that might be one of those items we'll put in. But again, if you don't have a ton of money and you want to just kind of get into it, these are safe items to kind of do.
Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you did, please think about liking and subscribing. Again, we're shooting for 1,000 subscribers, so if we can do that, that'd be amazing. And again, I'll be planning on doing a 1,000 hard casket opening for the subscribers, and hopefully we get some third age pieces. If so, we'll do a big drop party and hopefully have a bunch of fun on my first stream. But thank you guys for watching again, and I hope you have a good night.